Hello, I'd like to continue playing with scopes of variables, and I want you to pause the video, look at this code, and try to tell what it does exactly. And if you can, that means you understand how functions in Python work. If not, you need to keep watching this video. Okay, so this is the only function call I'm calling main, in the global scope. This is main. I set y equals to 1 and then I call function f. My function f plans to increase value of y by 1. This is the augmented notation. And it plans to print y. Will it work? Let's run it and see. Okay, let's run it. So the error here is that local variable y is referenced before assignment. This may be puzzling at first, and later it will feel essential and necessary once you have more experience with functions and variables. Now, basically, Python does not want to assume that the variable y that you created in the main is the same y as the one you are using over here. Because for all practical purposes, inside each function, you can keep using x and y if that's what you want to be doing, and that is completely fine. And for different functions, there should be different local variables y. So it's not a big surprise that it does not want to take this value of y and do something with it. How do we make it? How do we actually make it work with this y? Okay, so here I want to have some variable. This is an argument I will pass to the function f. I want to increase this argument by 1 and then I want to print it. So that way f of y will work. Okay, so y was equal to 1. We're executing the main. F of y, f of 1 means 1 plus equals 1, that is 2, print 2. So it works as expected. Are we done yet? No. The reason is that right now there is no way for me to pick the result of this function and do something with it later. For example, if I wanted to use this in another function or in another computation, how would I do that? Take a moment, think. If your answer is in the same path as mine, you'll probably begin to understand functions. Yes, so what I want to do, instead of printing, I want to return x. And just for fun, to show that I want to do something with my function later, I'm gonna define another function, g of x, and this function will, in short, return x squared. So I avoided creating any new variables inside this function. It will return the square of x. Now in the main, my y equals to 1. F of y will be computed, but now I'm returning a value and I have to catch and save it. Catching and saving it as z. And lastly, I want to call function g of z, and maybe just for the sake of it, let's print it, because we want to print something. Let's trace it through. I'm calling main here. My main starts to execute. Y equals 1. F of y, as we have seen earlier, is 2. Now z equals 2. And finally, we print g of z. G was squaring. 2 squared is 4, and that's what we printed. And this is how you work with variables in Python, no matter if those variables are numeric, like I was showing here for simplicity, or for example, string variables.